there, Ospreys. I'm Austin Beta, and welcome to the latest edition of the Afternoon Scoop. I'm on location here at the Christmas tree at St. John's Town Center to give you the inside scoop on Inside Swoop. First up, more than 1,000 New York Times journalists and other staff walked off the job for 24 hours Thursday, frustrated by contract negotiations that have lasted for months. The newspaper's biggest labor dispute in more than 40 years has resulted in work stoppage for hundreds of reporters, editors, photographers, and other employees. This left the Times relying on international non-union staffers to deliver content to its more than 9 million worldwide subscribers on Thursday. The strike ended at 12:01 a.m. Friday, and as of this moment, no further work stoppage is planned. Next, an oil spill in a creek in northeastern Kansas shut down a major pipeline that carries oil from Canada to the Texas Gulf Coast, briefly causing oil prices to rise on Thursday. Canada-based TC Energy said it shut down its Keystone system following a drop in pipeline pressure. It said oil spilled into a creek in rural Kansas about 150 miles northwest of Kansas City. The company has estimated the spill size at about 14,000 barrels and said the affected pipeline segment had been isolated. TC Energy has not yet said how or why the spill occurred. Finally, Jimmy Butler returned to the lineup on Thursday night, and it helped fuel the Miami Heat to a 115-110 victory over the Los Angeles Clippers. Butler had 26 points to go along with Bam Adebayo's 31 points and 10 rebounds. Butler's presence was most felt in crunch time as he scored the final 8 points of the game for Miami to secure the win. Adebayo said, quote, "We gave Jimmy the ball and let him do his thing down the stretch." The Heat currently sit in 10th place, yet are only 2 games behind 4th place Brooklyn. Adebayo added, quote, "If we worry about ourselves, I feel like we're going to be all right." Well, folks, thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Afternoon Scoop on location here at the Town Center. I'm Austin Maida, and I'll talk to you next time.
Hello, Ospreys. Welcome to this on-location edition of the Sunshine segment. I'm Joshua Rigdon, here to bring you the Inside Scoop and Inside Swoop. First up, Thursday, the Florida lawmaker who sponsored the controversial law critics call Don't Say Gay resigned. This comes one day after authorities announced his indictment on charges of defrauding a federal coronavirus loan program for small businesses. Representative Joe Harding sent a resignation letter to House Speaker Paul Renner, saying he needs to focus on his upcoming trial. The trial is scheduled to begin January 11th. Next up, Thursday, SpaceX launched internet satellites for a competitor. SpaceX stepped in to help the London-based OneWeb after the company halted its flights with Russia over the invasion of Ukraine. The Falcon rocket blasted off with 40 mini-satellites. They will expand OneWeb's constellation to just over 500, nearly 80% of the planned total of about 630 satellites. OneWeb satellites are built through a joint venture with France's Airbus at NASA's Kennedy Space Center. Lastly, Key West is putting a twist on a holiday classic. Wednesday night, Nutcracker Key West opened with a cast of 18 professional dancers and 80 local children and adults. The production offers a subtropical version of the tale. Dancers portrayed snowy egrets, quote, jewels from a 17th century Spanish galleon shipwrecked off Key West, the Sea Star Mermaid, and a nutcracker whose conch shell headdress is symbolic of the Keys. Well, Ospreys, that's it for this on-location edition of the Sunshine segment. I'm Joshua Rigdon. I'll see you next time.
Hey there, Ospreys. I'm on location at the Town Center Christmas tree for this weather edition of Inside Super 90. I'm Grace Derevi, here to give you the top weather news and the local forecast. Starting off with today's top world weather story. Lava from the world's largest volcano is no longer an imminent threat to the main highway across the big island of Hawaii. The lava that was flowing towards the highway has been cut off. Now that the flow has been cut off, the people are preparing their homes in the surrounding areas for the arrival of Pele, a volcanic fiber. Heading in today's weather. More warmth is ahead for today. We can expect partly sunny skies with little chance for rain. We will see some fog this morning before it burns off, and then we'll see plenty of sunshine. Today's high will be 77 degrees, and the low will be 59 degrees. Now let's take a look at our radar. It looks like we will stay dry today with some warmer weather and some patchy fog continuing overnight. Now let's take a look at our forecast for the week. Rain chances begin to return for the weekend, and isolated showers possible Saturday as a frontal boundary moves in. Sunday will feature slightly higher rain chances, but we will stay mostly dry. Cooler weather does return for the start of next week as the front finally exits the area. It is possible that a storm will likely move toward the area at the end of the week. The highs for the week will range from the low 70s, while the lows will range from the low to mid 50s. Well, that does it for this weather edition of Inside Super 90. Have a great day, Ospreys. I'm Grace Derevi, and I'll see you next time.
What's up, Ospreys? Welcome back to another edition of the International Insider on Inside Swoop 90. I'm Tony Salazar, reporting outside the Christmas tree in the St. John's Town Center, and I'm here to bring you the Inside Scoop on Inside Swoop. First up, A UN humanitarian chief told the AP that close to 60% of Haiti's capital is dominated by gangs whose violent and sexual attacks have caused thousands to flee their homes. People fleeing the capital also comes on the heels of, quote, catastrophic famine-like conditions, as Haiti is facing a cholera outbreak that has killed roughly 280 people and has hospitalized 12,000 more since October 2nd. According to the AP, Haiti has been on a downward spiral due to political instability since the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse, who faced protests for his resignation over corruption charges. Next up, Russian forces have installed multiple rocket launchers at Ukraine's shut-down Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. Ukrainian officials fear that the largest atomic power station in Europe could be used as a base to attack Ukrainians and heighten the dangers of radiation in the area. Russia has held control of the power plant since the war began, and both sides accuse each other of shelling the plant and risking a radiation leak. However, risk of nuclear meltdown has been greatly reduced due to 6 reactors being shut down. And lastly, Iran executed a prisoner convicted of a crime during a nationwide protest in September due to the death of a woman in custody of Iran's morality police. Mohsen Shekari was sentenced to death after he was accused of blocking a street in Tehran and attacking security forces with a machete. According to the AP, activists say roughly a dozen people have been executed in their involvement in the protests, and that more will probably happen soon. Well, Ospreys, that's it for this edition of the International Insider on Inside Swoop 90. I'm Tony Salazar, and I will see you next time.